Hi there. This right here is the Elka Synthex. We got a nice sunset, very bright. It's very windy and cold. Nice sunset, and then we got these clouds. I hope we get some rain, that'd be awesome. Well, this is a special episode. This is Random Menace Vlog 044. And the celebration is that we finally hit 100 subscribers. And that's no easy task. At least not for me. I was stuck at 44 for about 3 or 4 years. Then I took this seriously last fall. Started, taping video and editing video and uploading it, on the regular. And after about 7 months, we got to 99. And last week, I went from 99 to 98. That was the wrong direction, but sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward. And then as of yesterday, we hit 100. That's this number right here. So we have 100 subscribers. Hello, this is our bonus synth for this episode and our continuing 100 subscribers celebration. And this is called the Yellow Jacket, and this is also from Cherry Audio. And it's based on a synth from either the late 70s or early 80s that was called the Wasp. Early adoptees of this were Nick Rhodes from Duran Duran. I remember reading here back in the 80s that he had one of these. These keys right here, I don't think they're real keys. They're just plastic pots, almost like these things here that you just press on and it trigger a sound. But this is a very cool looking synth, and I bet it has a really waspy sound, pun intended. Ooh, I love that. That sound really stings. That's a cool bass. One thing about this synth, when it came out, it was a monophonic synth, not a polyphonic synth like the Elka Synthex. It only played one note at a time. But with these modern iterations in software, you can actually play chords with these. So it's pretty cool to see these synths that didn't play chords or whatever, be a full synthesizer in that regard, being able to play pads and whatnot. If imaginative as they could have been. So let's listen to some leads. Let's find some leads here, because that's what this thing is. Bass and leads are probably what it's forte. No. I grew up in the 70s, early 70s, and they used to have Sci-Fi Saturdays on Channel 5. You watch all the Godzilla movies, all the horror movies of the time, and the Frankenstein movies. It was amazing. And it was all in black and white. If you'd hear a sound like this. I think what made most of those sounds was a thing called a theremin, and you would control it with your hands, and it'd make those sounds. But that's for another day. Anyway, this is the Moog Yellow. Moog, what am I saying? This is the Yellow Jacket based on a synth from England, no less, called the Wasp. And this is our bonus synth for episode 100 subscribers. and it's a polyphonic synth with two oscillators, which are its two main sound sources. And within those sound sources are a subset of different tones from a sawtooth wave, a triangle wave, and a square wave, and some noises. And you mix those two together and you create new tones, and then you throw it through a filter, and that creates some more tones and things like that and filters out some stuff. And then you go to the envelope and filter generators, and they can take those tones and twist them through time, or it can start immediately and be a real sharp bass sound or a bell, or it can be, elongated, slow moving pad sound, or a modulated sound, or anything in between. Like this is kind of modulated. And this is a glorious synth that does pads, leads, effects. It just covers all the bases. And this came out in the time of where the polyphonic synth was king, starting with the Prophet 5, which came out in '78, and that was an amazing synth from Sequential Circuits. Then you had the Roland Jupiter 8, which was amazing and still is amazing. And what else did you have going there? You had the Oberheim OBXs, and maybe a Memory Moog from Moog. So there are Moog. How do you say these things? I don't know. But let's just take a look at this. And it's just a brief overview. We are in the midst of our 100 subscriber celebration extravaganza. I thought I'd take a look at this bad boy. Let's look at some pads here first. Actually, let's do recents. There's a lot. There we go. See what this one sounds pretty cool. Who doesn't like that? I do. Let's just scroll through some of these. See that pad? This pad kind of comes up slowly, so its attack is set way up, so it doesn't like jump right away and make it like a sharp sound. It just kind of blends in over time. Sound from a 1980s movie. It was the Terminator. Very nice. Well, here's a great bass sound. The Terminator. I'll be back. Another cool thing about this synth, it has an arpeggiator, which the original did. It had a chorus effect, which is a beautiful effect to have on synths. Some of my early synths had that. Also, this one comes with echo effects and reverb, which I don't think the original had, and it has a sequencer built in over here. Excuse me. So if we go over here to the arpeggiator, select that, and now I'm a one-man band. I can fire everybody else. I want to slow that down. That's just I want a little more atmospheric thing going on. I used to use ARPs in my songs early on all the time, but I kind of try and make them without it. I want things to be more sparse and bare bones. Speed it up just a little bit. That's pretty cool. I heard a rumor that it wasn't Yoko that broke up the Beatles. It was an arpeggiator. John had a synthesizer and had an arpeggiator, and he thought he could do it all on his own. Well, it's just a rumor. It's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not trying to start anything. But there you have it. That's a brief look at the Ulca Synth X. It's an Italian synth from the early 80s. It wasn't very successful in its initial run, but it gained popularity and legend as time went by. And they probably fetch a pretty penny in the thousands of dollars. To start out too, you probably have to pick one up around 10, 15,000 now, maybe even a lot more. There are some of those synths, like the Jupiter 8 from Roland, that's going over 30 grand. in various condition. It doesn't have to be amazing condition. So thank you for watching and have a great one.